Hi folks, in this video we're going to talk about some graphing methods for describing data, sort of how is data presented in tables and graphs. And we're just going to talk about some terms in this video and then get into some more details in other videos. Now, first of all, we could be talking about two kind of different things when we talk about presenting data. We could talk about numerical or categorical data. Numerical could be something like the sales of a company in dollars or whatever units are used, any number. Categorical is something like, let's say people are asked what their favorite sport is, and they say football or baseball or whatever it might be. Those are categories. So we can present data on both. Now, another term to be familiar with is going to be frequency. And that refers to how often a particular numerical or categorical entity happens. So, for instance, if a class was asked what their favorite color was, and 5 people said blue, and 6 people said green, then 5 and 6 would be the frequencies of blue and green, how many times those categories appear. All right, and then a frequency distribution is just a presentation of the categories or numerical values along with their frequencies. So you could construct a table, for instance, out of this data and continue on, say, with other colors. So that would be, the whole thing would be representing a frequency distribution. Now there's also something called relative frequency. And that relates the frequency of something to the total. It's like a percent. So, for instance, let's say we had 5 people said they liked blue, 6 people said they liked green, and 3 people said they liked red. The relative frequency of blue now would be the blue over the total. And there are a total of 5 plus 6 plus 3 people. And then 5 over 5 and 6 is 11. 11, 3 is 14. So the relative frequency of blue is 5/14. It could be a fraction. It could be expressed as a decimal. And we could, of course, turn it into a percent if we wanted. All right, and finally, there's something called a relative frequency distribution. And that's essentially like a frequency distribution, except you don't list the frequencies, you list the relative frequencies. So instead of a 5 next to the blue, you would have 5/14 if you wanted to do it in fractions. Or I could turn that into a decimal or a percent. All right. So we will get into more details on these in future videos. Stay tuned.